Hello, class. I just wanted to kind of go over a little bit of like a guide to how I've set up the class. And this will help you kind of understand how to navigate through. I have this on student preview mode. My teacher mode is slightly different, so I wanted to show you exactly what you guys will be seeing. So it's swapped into that view right now. And I first have up the announcements area. So you will receive announcements from me from time to time. And this one you received on Tuesday. And just wanted to kind of, show you a little bit of the highlights that I wanted you to go over, which included the going to the welcome folder. Please do so if you haven't. There is a little bit of an assignment in there. And it's just like a quick student survey that I wanted to know why you took the class and so on and so forth. So if you could do that by today, that would be great. And kind of we'll know a little bit more about yourself, and that's kind of where I was going with that little assignment. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the course content in the Blackboard. Just so you know, this is on a desktop, so you might see something a little different depending on what devices you're using, or what kind of platforms you're using. I use a Mac. So it might be slightly different, but at least you're getting the gist of what you need to do to navigate through each class. So here's course content. Please go to the welcome folder if you haven't already. And then here is the first class. So we're just going to click on that one right now. And this is how I have it set up. So please go through it the way that I have it set up. First one will be the class schedule. And it just is, the way that I did this is I wanted to outline it like you would if you were actually in class. The schedule really kind of shows how I want you to go through it, for the week's time. So the first thing is the lecture you would do. Actually, within the lecture, the reason why it's so important to look through these lectures each week is because it guides you through everything. It's all connected. It would be exactly if I was teaching you guys in person. So really make sure you go through it. There's going to be some video clips, which this is the example of what you will see inside the lecture, as well as here I have it also for you to be able to view. And it's just kind of going over, some of the lessons that I talk about in the lecture. And this is a great little video clip to enforce what I'm talking about in the lecture. And then lastly, I show you what would be kind of due for this particular week, but then so on and so forth. You'll see a little bit more of a breakdown of things as we go into the course. This one is just the class assignment that I have for you that also is detailed in the lecture. And then you're going to need to also show me a student strategy. So I'm going to show you all that, but I just wanted to run down the schedule for you. So this is what you kind of like glance over and see what you're going to be doing for the week. I have it where I gave you multiple files. So don't feel overwhelmed that you see a lot of files. It's just because I want to make sure that you can open up certain files. There might be files that might say, oh, you can't open this. I don't know why it's doing that because, if you wait for a little while, they open up. So everything's fine. I did give you a Word doc just in case, but just so you know, if you do try to open up a PDF, I was seeing the strange thing like that, but it opened up fine after you waited a couple seconds. So go ahead and, open up what you can, but I think if you wait, you'll be able to open up anything. So then we get into the next area, which will be, kind of the big guy. This is the lecture. So go into the lecture and let it spool. And here it is. So this is what's going to happen for your first, class. It's about image making and iteration. It talks about all of that good stuff, and you're like, wait a second, this looks like a drawing class. I just want to let you know, and I know specifically I even talk about it, like, this isn't, why are we sketching in a computer applications class? Really what it is, it's showing you the process of creativity. You're using design applications, so you need to create. And the first step you need to do is you need to sketch and doodle and try to brainstorm. So that's what this whole thing is about. And it tells you the reason why it's so important to sketch and doodle and brainstorm with your brain and doodling with your hands and so on and so forth. So that's the reason why I kind of took the computer away from you guys for the first week. And want you guys to, I'm encouraging you to doodle on your papers. So go ahead and do it. Then here is the link to the video that I'm showing you about, iteration with sketching and so on and so forth. Then it gets into the class assignment. So again, this is kind of like showing you what the schedule would be like if we were in person. If we were in person, you'd be doing class assignments. So that's what this is. So you'll be doing a class assignment, and it talks to you about the details of that. Okay. And then after that, I would like for you to do a student strategy. And the student strategy is also submitted. I'll show you all that in a second. And what it does is it helps me understand your reasoning and thoughts. If you go through the lecture, I really want you to try to use the terminologies that you learn, the lessons that you learn in the lecture, and discuss with me, your reasonings, your thoughts, so on. It's going to help me too when I critique you, because I don't just grade you. I also guide and critique what you've done. And then, the way that the projects will be set up in the future is that it will be a step-by-step process, week by week, and it's kind of like expanded in a couple weeks time to create and do a project. So you'll have a chance to kind of like refine, and work on your projects throughout the weeks, and make them better and all that good stuff. So that is the reason for the student strategy, to be able to talk with you, discuss with you, because that's what I would have done in person. Labs and projects specifically with you guys, I wanted to talk with you about that. Make sure you guys are ready. You have the availability of the Mac lab room. But you have to make sure you go through the protocol of what Nantuck wants to do. Last year was appointment only. I don't know exactly the details of this year. I believe it's still the same. So just really make sure that you're maybe setting up an appointment to get into the labs and so on. But that is all available to you. All of the applications are available to you free there. If you want to go in the comforts of your own home and your own computer, then there is a link that you can go to download on a student discount. So that's also here as well. So I just wanted to show you all of that. But make sure you have your applications all set up. Since this is an applications class, you got to have that done. So make sure to do that. And then, okay, so we did the lecture part. So the last part here is the homework. And again, I didn't want you to feel overwhelmed here. These are just different files, so you can get into what you need to get into. So here's the class assignment. Okay, I call this a homework scope. Scopes are what we call these assignments and what we get as graphic designers and creatives. So that's what I'm making sure that you're understanding what the scope means. So you would, go through all the information here. There's the scope, here's the specifications to it. In the future, you're going to see a little more of an outline in the specifications of what will be due, but it's not really a huge assignment for this particular week. So that's why you don't see like an outline of things that will be due, but you'll see that in the future. So I just wanted to let you know that. Then what's also due along with the assignment will be the student strategy. And so here, I have that in a Word doc. So here's an example of what it would be if it was a Word doc. So it, kind of spools down and you just upload. And of course, course, it uploaded on off the screen for you. Here it is. So it'll pop up for you in a Word doc. The PDF will show up on the screen. Again, if you have like some sort of an alert where it says, I can't upload this, wait a couple seconds. It just needs to think, and then it will show up. So here's the Word doc version here. And it's just simply your name, and then you're just going to talk about your thoughts, like I said before. You know, and give me your thoughts, your reasonings. Just follow the questions, kind of a thing, and submit that as well. And that's pretty much it. So once you have that set, you'll see when things are due. This will be due Wednesday, September 1st at the very end of the day. So up until, you know, right up until midnight. But make sure you submit on time. If you don't submit on time, if it's the following day kind of a thing, I do have to dock you for, you know, late points kind of a thing. And you got to do that anyways. In the real world, you got to, like, you know, meet your deliverables. So this is kind of to help you understand that as well. But that's it. So, you know, can't wait to get started.